capital of the country prosper.
And now live visuals coming in from Varanasi. Prime Minister to inaugurate the International Cooperation and Convention Center by the name of Rudraksh, which has been constructed with Japanese assistance. These are the visuals on your screen. You can see Prime Minister Narendra Modi heading towards the convention center. Interestingly, the name Rudraksh, after the prayer bead in Hinduism, has been made with the Japanese assistance and will be aiming to promote events, programs and of course interactions at an international scale for the city of Varanasi.
Ask people to always wear a mask in public, and also seen in the picture is the Japanese ambassador. So the Prime Minister.
So the highlight of today's itinerary is the visual that you're looking at, the Rudraksh Convention Center that has been made. That's you're looking at the Japanese flag, of course, reflective of the India-Japan friendship as well, because it is with the assistance of Japan. In many ways, the architecture and the design has been influenced by the assistance of Japan, and therefore this specific initiative has also been taken and photographing with the Japanese flag, accompanied with Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, who had also received him at the airport. Prime Minister Narendra Modi there, inaugurating, unveiling, cutting the ribbon as he's at the door, ensuring. Please notice that he's ensured that all the other senior dignitaries from Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Anandiben Patel and of course the Japanese representative as well are there when the ribbon is cut as he walks inside the convention center. Paulami Saha is right outside the Rudraksh Center in Varanasi. Paulami, over to you now. The highlight of the event is this visit and unveiling of the center there in the city.
That's right. The unveiling of the Rudraksh Convention Center, definitely one of the big highlights of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to his home constituency of Varanasi. He has, of course, reached the Rudraksh Convention Center, which is a center which will have a capacity of about 1,200 persons to be seated inside the convention center anytime that the center opens up to host exhibitions, any sort of conferences. He will, of course, be interacting with some of the Japanese delegates who are present inside over here, because the center has been, in fact, built with Japanese expertise and assistance. It was the year 2015 when the foundation was laid for this, and today, of course, it is ready to be inaugurated. And of course, the people of Varanasi are looking forward to this opening, because the Rudraksh Convention Center is sure to become a landmark in this city of Varanasi, the Prime Minister's parliamentary constituency.
So Paulami Saha is tracking all the latest there from the ground. The visuals of the Rudraksh Center, accompanied by Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, Uttar Pradesh Governor Anandiben Patel, and also, of course, a photograph that was clicked right outside the Japanese, with the Japanese flag. And take a look closely. There is clear reference to Japan there at the convention center. The umbrellas, the Japanese flag. So, of course, acknowledging the effort, initiative of Japanese assistance, and thereby projecting the international cooperation and the friendship between the two nations. And perhaps it can be only taken forward with this becoming as perhaps a symbolic beginning of sorts between India and China. Is it also a message in some way to the neighboring country there of China? That also could be an important perspective.
और हमारे रिश्ते जापान से पहले भी अच्छे थे विशाल, और ये जो तस्वीर दिख रही है दूर तक जाने वाली तस्वीर दिख रही है.
Well, absolutely.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi taking a tour of the convention center, and as remember, Paulami also has been telling us that this is going to be about 1,200 seating capacity. And this is going to not only be about the cultural richness of the ancient city of Varanasi, of Kashi, but also of international cooperation as well. There's Japanese assistance, it's state-of-the-art that we can already see. And for the residents of Varanasi to be able to get such an infrastructure to hold events and programs is definitely our infrastructure and development boost. You can see people already seated there. In just a few seconds now, Prime Minister will be reaching inside the auditorium, where from now on, here on, there can be programs and events. And of course, take a look at that photograph. It was, remember, when Shinzo Abe had visited the country, that is where this promise was made of Japanese assistance and reflective that of India-Japan cooperation as well. It is going to only boost an opportunities, remember, for social and cultural interactions, possibly for the city of Varanasi. The aim there to promote religious tourism, cultural tourism, and as Prime Minister Modi has said, to also make it a medical hub in Varanasi. The centre is about 1,200 seated capacity, and the roof of that, the Rudraksh Center, is 108 Rudraksh-like pointers that have been put on the roof. Prime Minister Narendra Modi received by the cheers and applause of supporters in the auditorium of the Rudraksh Convention Center, flanked by Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister and the Governor of the state, Anandiben Patel. Let's just listen in to some of the sounds that are coming in from inside the auditorium.
हम वापस चलते हैं विशाल स्टूडियो की तरफ, क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री जी यहाँ से संबोधित करेंगे प्रबुद्ध सम्मेलन को।
उत्तर प्रदेश के माननीय मुख्यमंत्री श्री योगी आदित्यनाथ जी, भारत में जापान के राजदूत सुजुकी सातोशी और माननीय सांसद राधा मोहन सिंह जी का हमारे लिए ये भी बहुत हर्ष की बात है।
Here in the auditorium, remember COVID protocols being set as an example that people who are seated in the auditorium are seated with spaces, and that is an important example that is being also set with this Prime Minister's visit, because that would have been a question that would have come up amid the COVID pandemic, this event being organized, but it appears protocols have been put in place. The welcoming ceremony currently on. Paulomi Saha is outside this convention center in Varanasi. Paulomi, so of course the inauguration ceremony is on, the scarves being presented by Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath. I also see it appears a model of the Rudraksh Center amid the cheer and applause from those seated inside the auditorium, that model being presented to the Prime Minister.